China committed $7 billion to South Africa last year. A large part of that will be used for infrastructure development.
In 1990s, the Chinese investment into South Africa was driven by government policy that is so-called going out strategy. But currently, I think the next wave, the new wave of the merger and acquisition investment from China will be driven by Chinese private sector, particularly the Chinese manufacturing sector.
There are a lot of areas where there's demand for service, whether it's property, whether it's in the retail sector, whether it's infrastructure, in the education sector. Traditionally, obviously, mineral resources, natural resources, but now the service industries are starting to become mainstream. Investments is coming in where local companies are starting to scale and sort of expand into new markets. They need capital, they need consultations and so forth.
A growing middle class and Africa's move towards reindustrialization have also provided new opportunities.
The only other countries that are investment grade in the whole continent is South Africa, Mauritius, Botswana and Namibia. So unfortunately you can't really look at it as a risk-free area. So you will see that some funds would rather go to other areas that are better rated, but there's still so much opportunity, and we do see investors, especially the UK, the US, China, that still see the opportunity there, and that's where we see most of the funds coming from.
Chinese automotive giant BAIC is investing $800 million in a new motor manufacturing plant in Port Elizabeth. It's set to become the base for vehicle exports into the rest of Africa. Chinese telecoms companies Huawei and ZTE are also expanding their presence on the continent.
We talk about ZTE, we talk about Huawei. They are some of the major vendors now for most of the operators is using Chinese products. Most of the European firms, their share of the market has dwindled, at least in Africa as far as I know, if they are not going out of business altogether.
While the continent remains a risky bet, it's still a relatively attractive investment destination. China has committed to strengthening its relationship with Africa and is now looking at more partnerships to help develop the continent. Sumitra Naidu, CCTV, Johannesburg, South Africa.